that's what I was going to say.
I was just going to say, I mean, some of my experience, and, you know, I joined up, I guess, in the beginning, but I kind of slowed down, helped out with Occupy Whittier. I guess I camped out the first week in October, and I haven't been back since, or for a while. And, I mean, like, in my experience, you know, I'm disabled. I'm not going to discuss my disability, but one of the ways people don't know that the state or the country wants to cut back if you are disabled is that they found that 50% of people who will file for disability, they'll turn everyone down because 50% of them are too emotionally distraught after being turned down to reapply. And I not only had to reapply, but because everything is so messed up in the system, most people don't realize, you actually have to get a lawyer who's going to take a huge portion of your check. I had to go through that, and then once you go through the process of the waiting for disability that I had to go through, I mean, it's just so many things that need to be changed. I had to find housing, and that was not only so hard because I'm a female and there's so many male housing out there. I was told by a social worker to go into a group home, and what people don't know about the group homes, I can't say that. Was that a what people don't know about the group homes is that there's not only abuse that happens in them, but if you live in one and you want to report it, they will not only not listen to you. I've been in situations where I had to call the police because of physical danger, and they say, well, it's up to the people who work there because we're not going to come down. And, you know, like, for example, one situation I don't want to go into too much with, someone tried to, you know, come after me with a box cutter, and so I went to one of the staff who's supposed to keep you safe, and they said, well, they didn't actually kill you or really cut you too badly, so we don't see a need. And I mean, it's not just my situation, I've seen it happen with other people, and if the police are going to ignore such a dangerous thing like that, you know, it's like they're ignoring them because they figure, well, these people are not really paying our paychecks, they don't have to pay taxes because they're on disability, so why should we do anything to help them out? And then another thing that goes on, people don't realize that they break the law in the group homes, even though they're supposed to let people know who is or isn't a sex offender. They don't allow a lot of people to get internet access or whatever. They'll do things to make sure you can't get that, and they won't even let you know. And so it just, so many things in our system I feel that needs to be changed. Like, for example, a lot of the women that will end up there, I've witnessed, I don't have any children of my own, the only way they can get housing is if they give up their own children. I had to become homeless in order to get on the wait list for Section 8, because when my Section 8 first came in, they mail it to you, and they didn't even give me my mail. They neglected to do that. I had to, you know, go out, get a P.O. box, and it took me 5 years to get into some kind of housing, and it's just insane because you can wait 10 years or more if you're disabled, you know, and you're not homeless trying to find a place. Now the wait is longer than 5 years, and I feel like it would actually be more cost effective if you want to speak to the government in a way they would understand. It would be more cost effective if they had people in independent living or on their own, because it, you know, the board cares or whatever they are, they take such a huge paycheck that they actually have to increase the amount, and it would not only help them save money, but it would also help, I think, in the sense, you know, just to wake up the government. We kind of got to do that and speak to them in their language, which is money, I think.
Patients' rights and advocacy, there's a...
They don't listen to you.
Okay, so yeah, I worked in mental health. Not work, but I volunteered as a mental health advocate for a number of years, and I know the system is fucked. It's one of the worst systems on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, like,
as far as being brutal, and that's just the surface. There's so many ways and even murders that are happening in psychiatric institutions that go unreported.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody ever has to pay for it. I know.
Yeah, I mean, for example,
We're sort of getting away from the subject, but
yeah.
I totally
to get back to the subject, based upon like what you're saying, one of the things that I've said about this for years, and I'm just glad to finally have some company on it, is this duality of like where everybody expects this personal responsibility, and yet the government, the corporations are completely to get on disability, how they just automatically reject 50% of them. They learn that from the insurance companies due to this, conflation of private industry and government. Government is not private industry. Government is a service. It's supposed to be a service. And government can actually do good things, but that's not what we have. We have a plutocracy. We have the corporations infesting our government with you look at how many people from Monsanto. I mean, the ex-CEO of Monsanto is the head of the FDA. I mean, how do you think that guy's doing? So, I mean, part of what, I love that we come down here, we share with each other, we trust each other, we give each other, time and patience, and, hold ourselves accountable, so, I want to see more of that, I demand that from the corporations. If I'm going to be accountable, they're going to be accountable too. None of this, making money off of this hocus pocus math, or throwing people out in the street and they don't even own the deed, and none of this taking the shit from the fucking cops that, telling us that we're criminals when there's, and so that's what I'm here for, and that's the only reason why I'm still actually even in this country is because of Occupy. Otherwise, I'd find some nice little socialist country somewhere, and just have a nice little life,
Completely fed up with our system, our great system, corrupt government. Completely fed up.
Yeah.
I think it's important to get this thing. That we are people of sad about that. I would like to
without swearing.
Or just that you're supposed to live your life a certain way. During these hours, you're supposed to do these things. These days, you do something other days. Then you're supposed to come home and you're supposed to watch TV and you're supposed to sleep at LA or just occupy in general. I think people are completely changing the way that they live their lives. Less compartmentalized and more
And I feel at the very core, the original declaration says we're not a political movement. I think that's completely right. I think that's too low of a level. I mean, at its core, to me, Occupy is a spiritual movement. It's from coming down and seeing people that I would never run into, and hearing your story, understanding your story, having compassion for you, that it makes me a better person.
Mic check.
Everybody looks like they're having a pretty productive discussion. You guys want more time?
Yes.
10 more minutes?
Yes.
10 more minutes?
Yes. Okay. Well, I think that we all are spiritual. I'm just wondering here, how many of you consider yourselves as leaders to be spiritual? How many of you have had direct spiritual experience? This is a survey, okay? All right. So you see, that's a lot more than the general population. So probably we tend to be a little more spiritual than the average. But we're definitely more moral. We're definitely more moral conscious. So that's part of who we are. Deeply moral. What's your name?
Rosemary. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm from Occupy Whittier.
Oh, great.
But I actually live in LA, so.
We both are.
Yeah, we both are. Did you say anything, Nina? Do you want to talk?
Oh, Iridi spoke.
Okay. I was in another group, so I came to just join your group because our group ended. But
Oh, I see.
so I don't know.
Well, we're just
Still hear what I said.
why we joined Occupy. But I guess if you already participated in the other group, maybe you should just
I don't know.
you can say a little bit maybe.
Okay. I'm here because just I don't know. I actually really resonated with what you were saying about meeting other people and feeling connected to their stories and just being a better person because of that. And I think in some ways sort of feeling empowered by that to change things. I think that's similar to why I'm here. I also, I don't know. I think, what was the other questions? The other questions were like, how
we
we...
haven't really even gotten to that yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've got so many questions that it's going to end
I
before we...
think like we talked about it in my group, just like outreach, direct outreach, kind of passing pamphlets out and just asking other people like what their needs are, and I don't know, sort of taking all of that into consideration and not being led by any one person, but all sort of collectively coming up with an idea of our own. But I think maybe I've been like volunteering for different homeless shelters that are already like, you know, in LA, like the LHAS or LASA or something like that, the Los Angeles Homeless Shelter, and just different organizations, I think. And I think maybe people that are, you know, volunteer their time there would be some of the people that would be interested in joining the Occupy movement. So I'm like maybe outreaching to them, or even if I'm just like, you know, at a soup kitchen and like feeding other people, striking up a conversation of like, look, you know, there's another movement that has similar values
What about
in
in the
mind.
statement? Let's get to that subject. What about in the statement? Like, how would you motivate other people?
I think like you were saying, like it's really just getting to know like like direct communication, getting to know each other.
Yeah,
And
sure. That's part of it.
like-
Let's say we already consented to put out a statement.
Right.
So what would we put in the statement?
Oh, like in an actual statement saying, I think, I don't know, do you have any?
I mean, something that can speak to the fact that, you know, American lives in particular, I mean, even though we're very much a global movement, you know, but to the American audience, that our lives are extremely fractured. And we are cut off, we are run ragged, you know, with going to work, sitting in traffic, getting the kids to their soccer practice and stuff like that, that, you know, we actually provide a space where people can stop, listen to others, and also have their voice heard. You know?
Yeah, something I think short and sweet though would be good too.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of like all of these, you know, like graphs you could show people that like of the, you know, middle class being like erased completely, and but then I don't know how much that might turn other people away. So I'm thinking of something that's very general. I don't know, a very general statement that's kind of like similar to what you said. You know, everyone's.
Yeah, I mean, you had a statement. I mean, some months ago. I mean, that was really beautiful. I mean, I think what some people were kind of objected to was like the list of things, but I mean, she had a really good statement that.
Oh, I love to hear it.
Do you, any of you have a copy of it?
I have a flashlight.
Because this is actually a shortened version of the statement. Somebody thought that instead of including the list of objectives, that we should just shorten it, leave out just have everything else.
Can we have like 5 more minutes?
Okay, now see, the thing is, I would like to hear what you think about this, seriously, because basically what this is it took out
I'm you screaming.
the understatement.
Because remember
It's
me?
the 2 paragraphs, so some people really think this is great.
She doesn't
I
remember
put
me.
those sounds together because I've
Worked on it for yourself,
I've
huh?
been working on it. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how it sounds. So listen to this. We the people hold that all life on earth is interconnected and endowed with certain natural and inalienable rights. Because we are deeply concerned with the violation of human rights perpetrated by the United States government, both here and abroad, and fearing for the future of our planet in COVID, expressed a moral and spiritual outrage regarding the failures of our political and economic system. These failures have led to endless local profit, poverty, species extinction, nuclear catastrophes, murder of countless innocent civilians, and other abominations. Rising to the challenge posed by June, we stand in solidarity with one another and all people who strive not only to survive, but to lead lives of integrity and freedom. I'm just feeling this is one. There were a few other words that were like this said, this had said after contributing to lead lives of integrity, dignity, and freedom. Giving voice to the voiceless and contrary to current corrupt party agendas, we proclaim the need for a new kind of socioeconomic and political system in this nation and the world. We envision a new society for our nation and world, one in which compassion, wisdom, and equality about materialism, militarism, prejudice, and tyranny. Our government has proven that it cannot represent us in addressing our grievances. We the people must rise up together in direct democracy and to guide us through the creation of a society of free. We encourage all people to join us and participate in general assemblies, direct actions, creative protests, nonviolent resistance, boycott strikes, non-participation, and whatever other ways we together feel called. So, now,
Yeah, that word dignity's in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, because that's really good.
John-
That resonates with the Mideast movement. You know, yeah.
John and somebody else had talked about this.
I like it. You know, I mean, you've got the raise
What
and
it
all
did
that
was,
kind of stuff.
before what the statement had done was, after the first paragraph, what it says, we declare the need for a new kind of socio-economic and political system in this nation and this world. It says, one which is based upon the following principles, and then it listed global peace, human rights for all, education, healthcare, housing, as human rights, sustainable agriculture and development, things like that.
Why isn't that?
I like the mix of like this statement and I know like a lot of people think like this, but I think it's really attention grabbing. This is like how do you want people
I think you get the list in there by stating them as principles.
As
like
principles.
As you were just saying. Yeah.
Principles.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, though, that we did, as a group, our General Assembly did actually consent upon several things. Divorce, money out of politics, and corporate personhood. And then I believe we also have the election, wanted to have fair elections. So we did actually have some. So now, do we just leave that out? Because we want to. Or should we say that we have agreed that we want to stop the wars?
I think like saying, that not having politics based on money and influence and things like that says that in code words without actually saying it.
2 minutes! We're gonna get bad! 2 minutes! Be ready!
Well, or
Some people say we should say stop the wars.
Okay, so here's my question real quick, so we've only got 2 minutes. The only thing I see is if you're like sitting there, I mean it's different when you're talking to like friends or family and you have a bunch of time, but I think part of the problem might be that statement is too long if you're walking by somebody on the street and
That's exactly what I agree with.
it
Yeah,
needs to be something that's like really cute
but I mean
and
that's
catchy, but
that's
yet-
flyer material.
I think maybe like
Yeah, but I mean, I'm
You
just
hand it to
saying, if
them.
you don't, if you hand them a flyer, but still, I'm just saying, like, if I'm walking by somebody and I see a statement like that, I'm going to think, that's fucking wrong, So, I mean, if we were just passing somebody, that might be
But
what they...
part of
Wait, you mean this is rather long, or
the,
this
the
with
whole,
the list?
like, the paper you... That, I mean, it's...
less than the list if you like find some way to put it in.
Yeah.
well, and it's not a list principle. Yeah.
Well, I can't wear it behind the mask or it hurts too much, and without him I can't see.
We could say based upon the following principles of unity.
Mic check!
Would you please?
Get the person who's going to report back. Get the person that's
Going
going
to
to
report back
from your working group.
from your working group
To get on staff with Brian.
You're going to give the report back since So you were doing the notes?
I have to. You can read my handwriting.
Awesome.
Okay.
I have to be the note and the speaker.
Well, you can read your writing.
Can I get a coffee while you're at it?
You want a bagel with that too?
Yeah, I'd like to, we're on Facebook together, right?
Practice those ear muscles. Let's practice
Those ear muscles.
This is actually an important conversation.
It's actually an important conversation to have.
Conversation builds solidarity.
Yeah. So why don't we start
Why don't we start
with a solidarity clap?
solidarity class
Just to make the point.
to make the point?
First on Skag is Portia.
Yay. All right. They are always there.
They're always autonomous. People are autonomous.
Okay, so I kind of made a list in general, so if my team thinks of anything I missed, they can come up after bed.
Can everybody hear?
I'm sure they can.
They can
Okay, is that better?
Everybody come on. You guys love it. Come
So everybody who wants to be involved in this conversation, let's gather.
Everyone who wants to get involved. Everyone is autonomous. You don't have to make everyone involved in the conversation. You don't necessarily want to be involved in dialogue in a large group. But we do. So people scoot in if you want to have a large dialogue.
Stop playing here.
Everybody can hear me now?
No. eBay.
I made a short summary, so like I said, my team will take questions, which have to know where you are, where you're here, and how to get involved. Okay, so the problem, one of the things we said at the beginning was we're here for different reasons, so it's kind of hard to make it face up for all occupiers.
No, thank you.
Occupy is for standing up against the corrupt government. Occupy is about what we feel needs change. We do agree that we are working for those who cannot. We need those who make our hearts speak. We can also invite our family and friends. That's one way to get more people. We are against the corrupt government. We said people are changing their lives because of Occupy. We're waking up. We are not a political movement. We are a spiritual movement. Volunteer at shelters. Go to the homeless shelters. Speak to people down there as you're volunteering.
Excuse me?
Is it okay if I sit here?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I'm trying to focus. It's harder in the dark. Thank you so much.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. Okay. So we have a small group over here. They kind of dispersed though. One of the things that I think we all agreed upon, I don't think anybody objected, is that we are revolutionaries and we're here for a revolution. So some sort of language like that would be important. There was talk about that we're concerned citizens, but I know the word citizens bothers some people, so we didn't get into a long discussion about that. Brother Adam said we are the people and we are the servants of the people. Obviously we're denying that. And Deli said that basically we are the accumulation of the actions that we've taken, so that if there was a list of actions that we have accomplished, that would be nice to include. And then why we are here is revolution. We already said that. We're here. We're here for revolution. We're here for human rights. A lot of us, and I don't know if we came to consensus on this or not, but a lot of us were very interested in the principles of solidarity. That was actually one of the first statements that I believe Occupy LA endorsed, and we endorsed it before the encampment even began. I think a few days before the encampment began, when we had GA over there. So the principles of solidarity should be able to be used without any objections whatsoever. And then we're also here, like Brother Adam said, to build bridges. And we talked about trying to avoid alienating people for whatever reasons. There's a lot of maybe cutting people out because they're not as radical or they're not as cool or not as whatever, you know, fill in the blank. So we were talking about that as we are and how to get more people involved. As far as the outreach, Brother Daniel said that we could go to other actions like we are on Saturday to the Walmart action, and that's actually a really good way to do outreach and to build this movement is to show other groups that are already working on issues that we care about that we're here and we want to be involved to whatever degree we want to be involved. As far as the statement, we have a copy of, I think, one of the latest versions of the statement, so we were able to look at that. I think we all came to the agreement we want it short and sweet, that the version as it is much too long for our likings. We're a little worried that if we come out with a definitive statement like who we are, why we're here, that the mainstream media will tear it apart, and so we want to keep that in mind as we move forward. There was more than one person who said they don't really like the list that's in the middle of this statement, so there was some discussion about taking the list out and then playing with the paragraphs that are sandwiching it. And then we talked briefly about a paper brochure that we had at the actual encampment that was about Occupy LA. It talked about hand signals, it talked about General Assembly, it talked about, we had a map of the encampment. I don't remember who made it, but something more along the lines of that, as opposed to one piece of paper with just text. So, did I forget anything important, group? Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Cheryl.
for a really thorough report. Next on stack is Louie.
All right, Louie, I'm from Occupy San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, right.
All right, so from what I got from my group is they said that a list, it could probably end up being endless because everybody has like their own things they want to add to the list. So we should probably focus on more things. Like
The list could be endless!
yeah, the list could be endless. So what we thought is there's probably like 4 to 5 months left before the election. So we should probably like focus like 2 weeks on certain things like education, and then another 2 weeks on these things. And we should go to media outlets and like direct action and to like make them talk about this on like when they broadcast it, and so that'll get more people involved and that'll get people to know more of what's going on if we go to the
Robert?
Next on stack is Robert.
Okay, I tried to echo some of the statements of everyone in our group. And we had, we, the 99%, are an independent, rational political movement seeking to reorganize society to the benefit of everyone. We're working on a new model of participatory democracy. We are autonomous as a local community, but standing as internationals in solidarity with such movements around the world. We stand against the abusive power structures of government, corporations, media, and the military-industrial complex. We are particularly sensitive as Angelenos, our local concerns, to the issues of homelessness, to the way that the media has sensationalized gang violence, which is a microcosm of how the media has turned the 99% against each other to distract us away from the true violence that's being perpetuated by corporate capitalism. We want to locally in Los Angeles create safe, creative public spaces, temporary autonomous zones that are not based on consumption or commerce, places where the homeless are fed, we take care of our comrades. We should also, being in Los Angeles, this is the media center of the world. We should actively try to occupy the media in a strategic fashion, not just a disruptive fashion, but we should be actively courting musicians and artists that are sympathetic to our cause so that the message can get out even further. And instead of waiting for the cops to come to us, we should actively court their defection to our cause, since as individuals, this is their concerns too.
Wow.
Thanks,
Hold
Robert.
on a second. That was like a pretty well crafted, like thought out
Quarterback.
statement.
Yeah, definitely,
So
yeah.
I don't want to lose all that work tonight. Do you have that all?
Could you repeat it
written down?
again?
Can you-
Could we work together?
I'll email it to you. It was everybody in the group. This is just everybody's summation.
Wait, can we, Ralphie's the one working on the statement. Can you guys connect and like talk about this and like,
Yes, and can you also email it to
Everybody should email it to somebody.
Everybody.
Right,
Let's
so you
email it
have
to
it all
everyone.
written down, right?
Yeah.
Can you email it to either myself or to the facilitation list so that we can put it up?
Yeah, give me your email. Yeah, that'd be good.
yeah, everyone can do this. Let's take care of it. They can just give John to do it and just coordinate the.
Yeah, Portia, Cheryl, Louie, Robert, and now Heather. If we can all email everyone everything.
I guess I already had you like somewhere. It doesn't track it. No, it's wide blank. Without the PR. At yahoo.com.
If you can send me your list, I will. I'll put it up on. I'll put it up on the facilitation list.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And I'll send you a copy too.
Can you also connect?
Heather's up.
Yeah, who is and who the other person is called?
Portia, Cheryl,
Cheryl.
Louie, Portia, Cheryl,
Yeah,
Robert.
Portia, you can send it out, right?
Yeah.
You can send out the facilitation. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm really impressed. Really impressed with the work people did tonight. It's like really awesome. I want to make sure that we don't lose it because you all work like really fucking hard. Heather is next on stack.
I'm actually, I think I'm last too for reports. Let's see. Okay, so for who we are, part of the global movement, global struggle. We're radically inclusive people, and that.
I like
Radically inclusive people, and that we are also caring and loving people. You know, that what we do really comes from a place of love and caring for others. And let's see, why? Okay, so why we occupy to help community and nonviolently. And that we're here because society and the economy pushed us to act, to fight oppression, to protect human rights and dignity, and to promote and fight for full equality. As far as goals go, inform the people so that they will be inspired to rebel and resist, because people do. They'd likely to fight. Building people power, so we actually have the force to fight. And, you know, as was just mentioned, kind of providing experiences for people so that, you know, to help aid them think out of the box. You know, what are these alternatives so that they can actually get into those autonomous spaces and have a non-commercial experience. You know, like I mentioned, our really free market. You know, this is like something that's really fun and exciting for people and actually gives them the experience of the alternative. And let's see. Oh, and to demonstrate diversity. And essentially what we're talking about there is, you know, we're talking mainly about how the media loves to portray us as a bunch of dirty hippies or rich white kids, whatever the case may be. And just to make an effort to get more, you know, diversity of faces up in front of media, in front of, you know, whatever opportunity we have to show ourselves, you know, and also to essentially occupy the MSM. And, you know, we're talking about like, you know, just trying to get our message out there in more conventional ways. Let's see, how to get others more involved. Oh, okay, this was an idea that I'd actually heard another TA that was brought up again tonight. You know, to like maybe have people who are kind of assigned to watching around our events, people who are onlookers that are curious that we can approach and talk to them about what's going on, and, you know, to just have people that are really aware of what's going on around us and engage those who are just looking. Let's see.
Really good idea.
Oh, okay, and this one, I mean, we're talking about tabling and, you know, like potentially, or participating in events that are put on by groups of people that, you know, are likely to, you know, to engage with us. But it was mentioned that really what we should be doing to try and, you know, prevent this preaching to the choir thing is maybe just go to some regular events, like concerts were mentioned, you know, go and try to engage youth at, like, you know, maybe the Warped Tour or something like that, and really just kind of move outside of, you know, working with people who are likely to coalesce. Oh, and then the last thing was mentioned was for us to really make an effort to give personal testimony about our own experiences. You know, a lot of us are going through a lot of the things that, you know, we're trying to help resolve. And, you know, so more personal testimony with strangers, you know, like, why are the reasons that you are here, and, you know, for yourself, your family, your friends. Okay.
Beautiful. Anybody else on stack, Ryan? So, you know what, like, we have, like, so much collective growth here. It's kind of astounding. I think since we have a little bit of time left, if there's anybody who wants to say anything individually on these ideas, please get on stack.
I'm putting myself on stack. These ideas were awesome, and I think a way we can start to do these kind of new forms of interaction with Art Walk in July. We've marched so many times, and we never really questioned the validity of a march to Art Walk. I don't think it does that much. A couple of people are talking about a do-it-yourself Art Walk here at Pershing Square. Having painters come and be painting, having the print shop come and be making art, having chalk available for a bunch of people. We could go down there and flyer. We could say, hey, we're having a do-it-yourself Occupy Art Walk in Pershing Square. Come check it out. And we're engaging with someone when they're already in the mood for art, and it's revolutionary. So I think this type of conversation breeds this type of idea. So I'm really excited about it. It's a diversity of tactics of really messaging correctly. So I'm going to keep floating that idea around. I'm going to probably make some propaganda for it, and hopefully we'll get a lot of artists that are down to make some revolutionary shit. But I just wanted to say that awesome conversation today.
I thought this girl.
I already spoke on this, so I'm gonna, yeah, but I do wanna, like, announce or something about
Okay, we're gonna do announcements
Okay.
after. Like, we wanted to let people up. If you want to talk about specifically about this discussion topic.
Yeah, so on this discussion topic, one way I think we could interact with the public that would not only get them thinking critically, but also allow them to tell their own story would be, and this could be in conjunction with Art Walk. We could have a magnet board or some other form of board where there's like, everyone here has seen the I am the 99 statements, they put them in front of their face, right? Put them on the internet. Exactly, photo booths. So you have magnetic things, and you can have the pre-made words. So you're like, I am the 99% because I lost my job, family, 401k, whatever, and we can allow people to participate by understand. You can't tell someone that they are the 99%. They have to understand that for themselves. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make that fucking drink. So we need to allow people to express themselves, and I think this would be a great way to help them realize that they are part of the struggle, whether they know it or not. And another thing on the propaganda would be to have quarter sheets that we can hand out with revolutionary art already on it, and then on the other side be like, and by the way, come and do it yourself revolutionary art in person. Now that's what I got to say.
Anybody else? Next, do we have anybody else?
John and then Shakti.
I just wanna follow up on something that Heather said that I think is like really important. And that's when we're doing an action. I know it's like really easy to get involved in marching and shouting and yelling, but I know some of the things that I've tried to do is when we did that CCA march in the morning, like walking by people and just saying good morning and smiling at people.
It's revolutionary.
Because I think, because people have a sense of being intimidated a little bit when they see, like a bunch of people marching down the street that are angry, and we have a right to be angry, but we're not angry at them. And so, like kind of trying to like engage with people is, like really, really, really important. And being friendly as opposed to intimidating, I think is, like something that's important to think about, because we're trying to outreach, not push away. So, like as we do our actions, we should always try to keep in mind that, like every person who is like not involved in the action but walking by or kind of looking at what's going on is an opportunity to outreach to. And I would also like to see us have more things to hand out when we're doing an action. Some of that, like I've seen you do it, like an action, just walking up to people and handing them a leaflet. It's a great way to, like get the message out. So, I just want to encourage us to keep doing that. I think that that's great.
Shakti.
Well, the idea of a statement is sort of like to put all the spirit of doing one-to-one outreach into a statement for people that you might not be able to reach one-on-one. So, I'm just trying to make a statement.
Nice job.
Thank you. So, when in our group, my group, we were talking about making a statement that would be similar to the one that we were talking about last week, but would be a little bit shorter, and we talk about some of the more exciting aspects of who we are, like consensus, consensus, direct democracy, direct action, these things at the beginning of the statement, rather than putting them in the end of it. What does that sound like a good idea to people? Let me see your spirit figure. And what about this idea that we state what we support, like human rights for all and civil liberties and peace and so on, as principles, not as demands, but as principles. Does that sound like a good idea? And then, but what about, well, we did actually pass some demands already. Our RTA has passed some demands, you might remember, like end the wars, end corporate personhood, separate wealth and state. What did I tell you?
Something about corporatism, which I think was to do with corporate personhood.
Yeah, and corporatism. Okay, so what about those? Should we put those in a statement if we have consensus on this? Okay, so, and we are continuing to, we will say something about, we are continuing to devise our goals depending on what people consent upon, right? Okay, all right, and then a lot shorter. People thought it should be shorter. Everybody think it should be shorter? Okay, so should we try again to try and create a statement now that a lot more people have put input? Do you think? Okay.
How do you want to do it, Julius?
Yeah, no one else is on stack, so. That's a good idea.
I feel sort of committed to putting some kind of a statement that's moving onto the letter to move people.
What's that? Yeah, it's Arturo.
Chat if people want to listen.
Maybe I need to be. I think that we should have two things. One would be a moving statement. That would motivate people to join us.
Short.
And
then also
have answers to frequently asked questions.
That sounds good?
Separate flyers. And then maybe something for the website would be those things. Does that sound good? Yeah? Anybody else who wants to work on either of these things, would you please give me your contact info. We'll do I already have a list that's going to this. We'll get you on.
Thanks, Shotki.
Stacks are still open. I have Arturo right now and then Adam.
So we don't feel that a list of demands would be good at all. Because we don't feel that there are enough groups or enough minorities represented here. And that's one idea. The other idea was about the media. And actually, we've never had a protest where we go directly to TV channels and march around. That's what the students in Mexico City just did. And they pretty much forced the TV stations to cover that. If we don't do that, I think if we do that, there wouldn't be police brutality or CCA or DPD or any of that, because the media would have to cover that, and that alone will get us more people, to join us. We just feel that. I just feel that.
It's a good idea.
The other thing is maybe
get together with all the occupied and have like a month dedicated to just for brochures, and then maybe a month on just education, so the whole country is listening to the same thing from all the occupied groups.
Thank you.
Good idea. Coordinated efforts. Yeah. Adam.
Okay, I guess like there was a couple things there. I mean, there was a basic. I counted about 4 people in our group that really weren't hip with the whole statement thing and demands to begin with. I'm with that. Honestly, I think it's better to have a statement of goals. There was suggestions to have, of course, you know, what we've done be our statement of demand. This is what we do. We protected people on Skid Row. We fought to stop the criminalization of the homeless. We fought to keep people in their homes. We fought against the military-industrial complex. We fought to free Bradley Mann. I mean, we actually, oddly enough, thinking back at it, and I wasn't really thinking about it until probably like I just heard that. We've done a lot of shit. But,
That's our statement. We've done a lot of shit.
That was just some more shit.
Some more shit. There you go.
But as of who we are, we've proven that by our actions. We're servants of the people. And that's what I would say. You ask me, I'm a fucking servant of the people. What you need? You know, that's pretty much what it is. Also, in the encampment, when the mayor sent us this little offer, trying to get the office space for $1 and all that bullshit offer, we put out a statement that was pretty much dope. I mean, it would have to be re-edited to remove the language about the offer, but it was titled in English, for everyone, everything, for us, nothing. And say it in Spanish, man.
Para todos todo, pero nosotros nada.
Yeah, you go.
That was local.
You know? And that was a beautiful statement. I think that pretty much encompassed what we were about. I would say we take a look at that, re-edit it, and put it out. It's not like it. I think we've already have it.
Canvassing has been putting that out.
Am I speaking, or is this a discussion? Thank you. So I understand you're offensive about your statement. It's a good statement. I just don't like the bullet points. All right, it's okay. So that's basically all I got to say. All right. All power to the people. Y'all have a good time.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam, can I add one thing? I think in the first Occupied LA Times, there was on the right, there was a list of what we've done from that point.
Yeah.
Conclusive, so we can track that down.
Where's Brothers Out? I know he got that.
That could be the start, and then we just add to it, right?
Okay, yeah, we got to find that. That's cool. You got that? Oh, you might take it.
Yeah. Last I have on stack is Ed.
I really like what Adam just said. I'd like to make a friendly amendment with it though. Whatever we put on as a statement, well, first off, I think we've done a terrible job of outreaching to the community out there. I would like to though acknowledge all of the work that Shantae's done. She certainly has tried very hard to go ahead and get some kind of a statement going. I think we do need some kind of a statement. But whatever that statement may be, I would love to see it on one side, some kind of a statement, and on the other side, a list of what we've done. If we're trying to outreach to folks, if we want to give these folks some confidence that this is a movement that's actually going to be of some substance, a list of what we've done would be very, very powerful. And we have done some real shit. We have done really wonderful things. And I think I don't think that completely replaces a statement, but it so strongly reinforces it. So I'd love to have a list of what we've done on one side and a statement on the other. If nothing else, we've had a very hard time consenting to a statement. If nothing else, we could just start out with our statement of solidarity and start out with that until we are able to actually put something together everyone's happy with.
Thanks, Ed. Next is Caro.
Yeah, so, I guess, my problem with the statement is that it's really hard to actually put everything together that, that we all think into like one statement. It becomes like we could go on forever about what we all are, because we all have so many things we could talk about. Like every single person here, like we all have different issues, and I think those are all very important. Like each of us could actually craft a statement about why we're here and what we're doing, and it would all be very, very different. And maybe we need like a zine about like a story of like why we are here. Maybe we don't need a statement. Maybe we need. I don't know. I think it's very complicated to even talk about all of the problems because there's so many of them. And I mean, I think that's why, like, I personally would love if Occupy LA was like, yeah, we're anti-capitalist because we're against the system of exploitation. Like, you know, there could be a statement about all the different things, but at the end of the day, like, this economic exploitation is what's happening. The political system upholds it. Our culture upholds it. Like, that's what it is. Our culture, our society, our political system continues to maintain the system of capitalism, which fundamentally exploits every single one of us. There is no such thing as good capitalism. We cannot reform capitalism. That would be my statement for Occupy LA. We cannot reform capitalism. Sorry. We need to get rid of all of it. We need to have a community and a society where everyone can come together and where we can all have we can control our resources ourselves and not just have it the top 1%. And as I say this, like, all of these great ideas, like, we need to put them in, like, we need to take, like, a step forward and put these ideas into place. Another thing that our culture and our society does is disempower us from actually doing things. Like, we do not feel empowered to actually take a step forward. Like, I applaud Shakti for taking a step forward and actually starting this conversation, because she's the one who started this conversation with her statement, whether we agree with it or we don't agree with it. She started this conversation, this dialogue, and we all need to do that. We all need to start conversation, we all need to start dialogue, we need to put out propaganda. Like, it doesn't matter if we all agree on it. If you want to make a statement, I don't care what it is, as long as it's not oppressive, like, as long as you're not oppressing other people or whatnot, I don't think any of you are, come out with your statement, like, put it on paper and hand it out to other people. Like, that's what this movement is about, is all of us empowering ourselves to take the steps forward to change the society and collaborating with everybody on how our society is going to look like, which is exactly what Shakti did. You know, tonight she came to our assembly and was like, what should we make the statement be about? Like, and she came to all of us and asked us all these questions, and it started this crazy, great dialogue about who are we and what are we doing. And so I think we need to continue this conversation, regardless of whether we put out a statement or not. Like, I think we all need to start taking the initiative to do the things that we're thinking of and not just come up with ideas, but actually let's start doing things. And yeah, you're beautiful.
Yay! Thank you. I mean, the thing is we also have to see how we say something might affect people too. That's why it's important to get people who are good writers and also who are thinking about how the mass are going to react to what we say as well as what we say. How we say it is important. That's the only thing I want to caution here too. So I would love to have anybody else come and tell me if they want to be involved with it. Would you, Kara?
I mean, I really do mean I don't really know if I believe in the statement, but.
Well, what are we going to put in our literature? Well, I mean, okay.
I don't know.
I'll pass it by you and you say.
Okay. And we'll keep this dialogue going. And I really, I actually would encourage everybody. I think it's a brilliant idea to think about doing your own statement. Why I participate in OLA. We could put together, a bunch of personal statements, which would be a nice thing too. Some of us are working on trying to put a zine together. I think that it will be useful for us to also do some reflective stuff as well as action stuff. Anyway, so now we're going to open Stacks. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say,
I just started e-streaming today, and I'm trying to, we have no viewers. I'm trying to figure out how to get some. You want to help me? Oh, I thought you said something about helping me get more viewers here. I'm going to tweet something at...
having people around the country sending all of these videos about why they think the Constitution should be amended. But I think it might work on a social media /PR level if instead of writing a personal statement, a lot of us actually, and some of the people here who are or who have camera equipment can help out, but like made a personal statement on video, because like when people hear it in person, it gets through a lot more, and it's something that we can easily share on social media. So that's something that we should think about.
So I want to do a direct response to that. Where's Ryan? Ryan! For the art walk idea,
That's what.
that would be a great thing to do, is to set up a video booth to do exactly that kind of thing.
He has a flip cam, so he can do that.
Yeah, I got one
There you
too. So we just got a great idea for the art walk thing.
Yeah!
Set up a video booth. Let's record some personal statements.
That's a great idea.
That, you know, like we can put up. Beautiful.
It's a great idea.
You know, like collectively when we engage in ideas, we come up with good shit.
But you were calling him stack.
No, he's not.
Nobody's stacking anymore?
He's
I am.
still stacking. You want to get on stack? Who wants to get on stack? Sure, or just get
Yes.
on?
We're gonna make.
Well, no, after.
Yeah.
You want? Oh, are we still talking?
I thought we were still talking about the statement.
You want to get on stack? You want to get on stack?
Ryan.
Get on stack.
I have him and then Cheryl and Tony.
And then we're gonna close stack so we can open up for general announcements.
Actually, mine was general.
Okay.
I don't. This is my first GA.
All right.
And I kind of came into it with the belief that so far as I've been involved in Occupy tangentially, both here and in other cities, but never like directly. And I found, to me, and this is totally on topic of what we're talking about, to me the weakest thing has been the lack of a cohesive message outside this group. I mean, I think it's important that everyone's personal message is there, but there are enough general, general similarities to everything that everybody here wants to accomplish, that at least something can be said, so that, I don't know, it's kind of, the Fox News message gets out there a lot easier because it's in sound bites, and people are able to use that, and they're able to use it to really easily discredit 400 people with 400 different messages to make us look disorganized. And that's a thing that I think is hurting things. I don't have a solution exactly at this point. I'm brand new. I don't know what's been done so far, but just as an outsider perspective who is still totally sympathetic with all of the goals, not being able to concisely communicate that to people who are not part of it makes it difficult for them to grasp why they should be a part of it.
For sure.
Thank you.
Like what's my specific? Yeah. I mean, my main focus is mainly the corporate personhood aspect of it. Just money owning politics is my biggest. Is the biggest thing that has moved me toward it as a national movement. But I mean, everything that Occupy is doing for the community, I think is one of the best ways to demonstrate what we're about. It's like what we just said here. I absolutely agree with that. We said it as part of our small group too. Like it was, it's demonstrating what's been done is one of the best ways to show what we're about as well.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
My comment is about what Ryan said about Art Walk, and I distinctly remember the first Art Walk, there was some, like, why are we protesting Art Walk? Why aren't we doing outreach? So I'm glad that it's kind of shifting now. And one idea that I had put up on the Facebook page that I think can kind of tie into that, and it can come up on Monday as well, is why don't we have orange shirts walking the Art Walk to do outreach, like they have the green shirts or purple shirts or orange red shirts. I forget what shirts. I forget what shirts are on the Art Walk.
Skittle Brigade.
But that's one idea that I would like to see is us starting to dramatize what it is that they're doing to oppress us and the everyday terrors that we have to deal with, especially if you live on Skid Row and have to deal with these shirts and these bikes, is be our own shirts, but be the opposite of what they are. Be helpful, you know, point people in the right direction. Oh, we're having do your own art thing this way, or that sort of thing. So orange shirts is an idea I wanted to throw out. and I had some announcements. Oh, and along the lines of, what was your name, brother? Ryan. Along the lines of the other Ryan, and kind of what we're discussing here is maybe what we can do along the lines of strategic planning is also strategic messaging, and talk about messaging for action, and talk about messaging for the movement and stuff, and start to discuss those things and see if we can't maybe come up with some good ideas.
Alright, so now we're going to open stacks for announcements. Come on up, Lauren.
I have Anthony first, and then Lauren and Cheryl, and then
yeah, on the list.
Ulysses, and I don't know.
So I just got two quick things. I wanted to add on to the TPP before. We all think fairly locally, but this agreement is actually going to affect the other countries involved much more than America. Most of these big corporations are actually American. And places like Australia and New Zealand don't have Walmart right now, right? So this one agreement is going to destroy hundreds of towns in both those countries. And you know, like we successfully kept out Starbucks. So you guys know that, but Australia drove Starbucks out of the country. And which I'm very, very proud of. Starbucks Australia is now Starbucks China because everyone supported their local coffee stores and drove them out.
Good job, Tony.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I was part of that campaign, and we all like boycotted Starbucks, and that took 7 years, but eventually they got shut down. They just gave up and people left. It was awesome, but it will be much harder for them to fight against Walmart. So, you know, coffee stores are one thing. The other flip side of that is there's two massive companies that are Australian-based. Rio Tinto, who are one of the worst mining companies in the world, who have one of the worst environmental track records, one of the worst labor track records. They will go into places like Ohio and destroy it, you know, and they've done it in New Guinea, they're doing it in Malaysia, all over the place, and News Corp, Rupert Murdoch's company, right, which is one of the most evil companies that exist. So it does work two ways, but you know, I'd like you guys to think about New Zealand, Australia, and Malaysia, and those countries. I mean, New Zealand particularly, it's got none of those big corporations. Its energy supply is going to be sold out. They're terrified. So I think it's really important for us internationally. And the second thing, real quick, I found out about this company in Australia because I've been thinking about how we can help the homeless. I found this non-profit that produced these backpacks, and they're like a bed backpack, and they turn into a tent. And they make them for no profit. They're all volunteers. So I've started a page to raise money for us to get some of these and get them to Skid Row. So I'll put that up on the Facebook page, and if you guys can share it around, and we'll get links out. I put a $10,000 target, which gets about 150 of those, and we can give them out on Skid Row, and they're fireproof, they're completely weatherproof. They're kind of awesome. So check that out. It'll be on the Facebook page. Thanks, Tony.
Lauren.
Okay, so I wanted to report on two actions, campaigns that I've been involved with. One is the anti-nuclear, the San Onofre thing. C and I went down to the NRC hearing last week in San Clemente, and it was really basically for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to report to its findings to the SoCal Edison, because they had the radiation leak on January 31st, and the plant's been closed ever since. And basically it was because they redesigned these tubes and tried to stick more tubes in there to get more power out. So obviously because of corporate greed, just like the BP oil spill, we had this problem. And SoCal Edison did not deny this. They basically agreed with it, and the NRC said that they wanted more information and the plant is going to remain closed. But someone asked a question as to whether people in the room, we were only allowed to talk about the steam generator, which is one little issue. But someone asked the question if they had it up, you know, did most people in the room want to see the plant shut down permanently, and they said they did. So that was good, and then the LA Times editorialized that they think it should be shut down, and there was an also article that said the industry was meeting about planning a future without standing off rate. So it's very hopeful that if we keep up the pressure, we could shut this plant down, and also Diablo Canyon as well. There was also a die-in for Fukushima because the premier, the prime minister, wants to start up the Fukushima, not the Fukushima, but the other reactors in OE this month. And the people of Japan are totally against it, but they're ignoring the people of Japan. 10,000 people protested in Tokyo, and the media didn't even report it. The media first reported it last week when 45,000 people protested in front of the home of the Prime Minister. So we had this protest and die-in in solidarity with the people of Japan. So we're trying to revive the worldwide anti-nuclear movement that was very active in the 70s and really kind of kept the lid on any more nuclear power plants. But because of now the energy needs of the world, they're looking at nuclear again. But I think if we keep the pressure up, we can close these 2 reactors down and help our brothers and sisters globally to end nuclear power once and for all. The other thing I want to report on is Occupy Fights Hunger. We had our event in Mar Vista. We signed up 25 people for food stamps, which I didn't think was such a great number, but they food stamp people did. And then a month later, we had an event in the Adams, Vermont Farmers Market. We signed up another 17 people, including an occupier. And so anybody who wants information about if they think they might be eligible, you know, come talk to me afterwards. It's very interesting. We find when talking to people that a lot of poor people feel shame about taking a government handout. And we say to them, that didn't stop the banks. They've taken trillions of dollars of government handouts, and they're still not making loans. They're still foreclosing on people. They're still paying their CEOs, you know, millions of dollars a year. This money is here for you. If you don't use it, it's just going to sit there. And the reason, again, for those of you that didn't hear me speak on this before, is only 40% of the people eligible for food stamps in Los Angeles are taking advantage of it. So that's very low. California is lowest in the nation, with the state only 53% taking advantage. And the federal government right now is trying to cut with the Farm Bill. The House Republicans want to cut $33 billion out of this program. It's a $700-something billion program. It's the largest piece of it's the biggest anti-poverty program in the country right now. And the number of people on food stamps it didn't double. It went up 50%. There were 28 million people on food stamps in 2006 and 44 million people last year. 1 in every 6 Americans is on food stamps. So this is something's wrong. This is a really good way to reach the public. We're doing our next event actually in a Ralph's parking lot in Crenshaw, the Ralph's on Crenshaw in South LA, and we're partnering with Hunger Action LA, with community health partners. I'm not sure that's the exact name, but we've got a lot of different community organizations, and we're going to do outreach during the entire month of July. And when we outreach about this, it's an opportunity to outreach about Occupy in general. So if anybody wants to get involved, Dee and Nestor helped me at a resource fair for the last event that we did. There were all these different agencies, and the people, in order to get entered into the raffle, they had to go around and get each agency stamping their passport. So they had to come and they had to listen to our spiel. And I will tell you that 90% of the people did not even hear of the Occupy movement. So it's really a good opportunity to reach the rest of the 99%. And I would love it if anybody would get involved, because at this point it's more people from other community organizations participating in Occupy Fights Hunger than occupiers. But I still think it's an important program. So,
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. Cheryl is next for general announcements.
So we're gonna start a strategic planning working group. There's a few people already on it. If you're interested, let us know. We're trying to find a day of the week where we can have strategic planning sessions or meetings for our group so that we can help get a strategy model or strategy models out to the different Occupy groups so that our actions can be more strategic and our overall efforts can be more strategic and all of that. So if you're interested, let me know. And I would personally love if we could have more of an in-depth conversation about food stamps, because I have a huge concern that the #1 food stamp provider in this country is also the #1 contributor to both the candidates. So I don't like a program that supports banks and the government as opposed to really helping people. So we could have a discussion topic on that. I would love to discuss the pros and cons of how do we feed people nutritiously without relying on the banks and the government to do so.
Right on. Ulysses!
Hello, Occupy.
Hello,
Ulysses! It's been a while since I've been here, probably like about a month. I've been really busy. The reason why I'm here today is because we've been fighting on foreclosure. The house that I'm living at with my family, we've been fighting on foreclosure for the last 4 years. This past month, we've been going to court. We filed bankruptcy. We went to unlawful detainer, and it's pretty much getting down to the part. They gave us an eviction date already. It's getting down to the part where there's not much more to do, but Occupy. I know I could trust you guys. I know I could get you guys support. I'm just here letting you guys, giving you guys some information. The eviction date is July 15th. That's next month. That falls on a Sunday. I don't know if they're gonna do it on a Sunday. Maybe they'll wait for Monday the 16th. I don't know. But we're planning an occupation of the home, and I'll be coming back, keeping you guys updated, and if you guys are interested, let me know,
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you all for hearing me. Okay. It's good to see a lot of the same faces and a lot of new faces here too. So.
Direct response from Heather. Ulysses?
Okay, so 2 questions. And 2, have you considered like putting signage up in your windows that says something like "We will not be moved," so that when potential buyers come by, they see those signs and they know there's going to be trouble there, and it helps with your interest. Yeah, and then for bank photos and all of that. Yeah, so.
I'm seeing 3 direct responses, so perhaps this should go into a working group with Ulysses.
We have a 50-foot stop foreclosures now banner that you just have to ask Carlos for.
But yeah, get with Ulysses if you want to continue this conversation for sure.
Right, and Ulysses, get with Occupy Pipes Foreclosures.
I am. I'm just here giving you guys some more information.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ulysses.
Next on stack is Nikolai.
Announcements.
General announcements,
Can I be
yeah.
on staff?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm
Hi.
actually a very horrible public speaker, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. My name's Nikolai. I'm a volunteer.
My name's Nikolai.
I'm a volunteer with Revolution Books.
I'm a volunteer with Revolution Books.
This is my friend Maria.
This is my friend Maria.
About 2 years, almost 2 years ago, we were in Arizona.
Almost 2 years ago, we were in Arizona.
We were there to fight SB 1070.
We were there to fight SB 1070.
I don't want to go into the whole thing of what that is.
I don't want to go into the whole thing of what that is.
I do hope you guys are familiar with it.
But I do hope you guys are familiar with it.
What's going on in Arizona?
What's going on in Arizona?
A couple of days ago, there was a Supreme Court decision.
A couple of days ago, there was a Supreme Court decision
which knocked down most of the law, but except for one provision, I believe.
Most of the law except for one provision.
And one is too much.
One is too much.
So I'm here to invite you guys to protest this Friday.
So I'm here to invite you guys to protest this Friday.
I'm going to read a part of this flyer real quick.
I'm going to gonna read part of this flyer real quick.
Revolution Club Los Angeles.
Revolution Club Los Angeles
Calls for a speak out in March.
calls for a speak out in March.
Say no more.
Say no more.
In opposition to the Show Me Your Papers law.
In opposition to the Show Me Your Papers law.
That legitimizes racial profiling across the country.
That legitimizes racial profiling across the country.
We are calling on everybody.
We are calling on everybody
Bring your banners.
to bring your banners,
Posters, songs, and music.
posters, songs, and music,
And your reasons why you oppose.
and your reasons why you oppose
SB 1070.
SB 1070.
Friday, June 29.
Friday, June 29.
We're gonna meet on the northwest corner.
We're going to meet on the northwest corner
On 6th and Union.
on 6th and Union
At 4:30.
at 4:30.
And then March.
And then March
At 5:30.
5:30.
Alvarado and Worcester.
To Alvarado and Worcester.
That's an open invitation, and I have flyers here if you guys are interested.
Right on.
Thanks.
I'll take one, Nikolai. Thank you. Next on.
I interrupt the stack to make an emergency wonderful announcement.
Oh, yes! Yes!
Nicole is
Pirates is free!
We love you, Nicole!
Ah, I'm so happy.
And Alex for hanging out there all day.
Next on SAC is Z.
Z!
So, to update y'all on the fracking issue, when we had gone to the meeting, there were so many people there that they had to have not only one but two overflow rooms. And apparently it made an impression because a bill came out of the California Environmental Committee, Senate Committee, and it is in favor of a moratorium on fracking. Now, moratorium means that they're temporarily going to discontinue it, but I'm pretty sure that the offshore drilling in California also started with a moratorium. Might have started as an all-out ban. We'd obviously like for it to end up at an all-out ban. There's going to be another meeting that they're going to have in Santa Barbara. I'm definitely going to be there, and there will be some great hijinks there. I have a great plan. You guys should come just to watch, or if not, you guys can watch the video after the fact. It is on the 25th of next month, I believe, and I'll definitely make sure to put a posting in the forum about going up there, whoever wants to come up.
More hijinks!
What's that?
More hijinks.
More hijinks, yes, more hijinks.
All right. Thank you, Z. Next on stack is Caro.
Hey guys, okay, so again, tomorrow, 9 a.m., be here. We're going to be serving breakfast. 10 a.m., we're going to be having a rally. And then we're going to walk over to the luncheon at the Sheraton that CCA is holding out of Pickett. And that's going to start at 11 a.m. We'll be here at 9 or 10 so we can walk over there together. Yay. Friday, we're going to be having a picket at the CCA at 626 Wilshire because they're having a meeting about homelessness. And that's at 8 a.m. So be there between 6 and 8 and then prepare to stay till 10. That's Friday. And Saturday, 10 a.m. Walmart action. And then next week,
Friday night.
What?
Friday night concert.
Friday night concert. Just a reminder. New announcement is that on Tuesday at 11 a.m. I'm sorry, not 11, 12:30 p.m. We're going to be having a strategic meeting over at LA Can, which is at 530 South Main Street. So Main Street between 5th and 6th to talk about a strategy for the Central City Association campaign. What it means, we're actually going to be deciding on the name for the campaign, and we're also going to be talking about the long-term strategy. Like, what is our goal? What do we want to do? And also planning the action another action the following week. So, and also possibly doing, if we have time, talking about a legal strategy. So, and we're going to be having these meetings every week, but we want everyone to participate because it's really important. CCA, like we've been fighting them since Occupy started. Like I know Cheryl's been hitting that up, and like we're continuing the fight right now, and we need everyone to be involved and continue this because they are the enemy here in downtown LA, here in Los Angeles. They are the enemy, so we need everyone to be there. So that's 12:30 p.m. over at LA Can. The address again is 530 South Main Street. On Main Street between 5th and 6th. I hope to see a lot of you there. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, July 3rd. 12:30. What? 12:30? July 3rd. LA Can. 530 South Main Street. Woo! Yeah!
There are 2 people left on stack. I'm closing stacks for general announcements. Next on stack is Beth.
Okay, my first announcement was going to be my second, but to continue the assault on the CCA, we decided, like, we talked about some things, I was looking into some things. This Walmart action on Saturday is really, really, really important. And we're going to have an affinity group meeting here at 9 a.m. before the march to get our shit together. We're going to get flyers in English and Spanish, and we're going to explain to all these unions and activist groups who the CCA is, why that they're the ones bringing Walmart in, and how they should join our fight against them. This is a really, really, really good way to help this battle and educate more people as how evil the CCA really is, and we really need to work on this. If we're going to take them out, we need help from other groups, and we need to get every other group in this city behind this, and this is a really good way. So if anyone wants to help with that, let me know. I'm updating the website, and if you're in a committee or you have an affinity group, give me your email address so I can update the contact form so it goes to the right people, because I noticed it was way outdated today. Also, I was talking to Occupy Seattle today for about an hour on the phone. There's a big strike with the people who make galvanized work wire up there going on, and they also have a place in Irwindale down here, between here and like Riverside, and they're actually going to have some of their union people coming down here, and they were hoping maybe we could build a solidarity action in solidarity with Occupy Seattle and these workers who are losing their fingers, who have really bad working conditions. They're on strike up in Seattle, and they want to go on strike here, so they're sending some representatives down. They'd like to come to GA and talk to us about what they go through in their struggle. I actually spent a long time talking to Occupy Seattle. They've gone through a lot of the same shit we have, as have other Occupies. Don't think we're the only ones who are fighting over stupid little differences. And honestly, we can't let it split us apart, because other Occupies are really fractured and having really big problems with this. We've managed to keep this together, and I think that we need to manage to bring back the people we've lost and show them that we've brought this together and try to bring the petty bullshit down. I don't want to be coming back here and hearing people are just not doing nonsense. And I never want to go on another 7-hour trip where I have people who don't participate and expect to be fed and taken care of. We went to Sacramento on Monday. We went to the state capitol. I went on a really cool reformist action with them. It's to stop foreclosures. And basically what they're doing is they're calling for a moratorium, a 3-year moratorium on foreclosures in the state of California. We had occupiers from all over the state there. We had about 250 people or so, and it was really cool because we were at the state capitol. We're outside, we had some rallies, homeowners spoke, Derma came and she spoke, she brought Ingrid. We had other people from all across California, and it was really neat. You know, some people went in, tried to talk to representatives, they had some issues with it, just got a secretary, but we let them know that they really need to take care of us. Today they were supposed to vote on the Homeowners Bill of Rights. We said that if they didn't pass it, maybe the whole state would come there, all the homeless people, or all the foreclosed people, and every occupier in the state, and go and occupy their lawn. The Capitol lawn is really, really nice, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, take care of each other. Tomorrow, Skid Row could really use water, and so could the occupiers out here. So if anyone gets a chance on your way to work, bring water down here to Pershing and bring water over to 4th and Town. They really need water.
John's is having a sale on water tomorrow, a gallon for 59 cents plus CRB. If you have a John's near you, I think there's like a limit of 6 or something like that. But if you can spare to give $3 or $4, you can get a free.
And there's quarter machines. You can fill a gallon and quarter.
Awesome. Last on stack is John.
All right. Everybody, I just want to float an idea that I want to work on, and see if anybody is interested in working on it with me.
Monday, John.
Shut up. That's really divisive.
I'm kidding.
So no, I think this is something that is worth pursuing. I'm like really concerned, like that so many of our radical brothers and sisters are getting arrested for bullshit, and that we haven't like organized a like really good political like response to that. We've got like, you know, we've got an active legal committee providing court support, but we haven't managed to get the message out into the, you know, like media and let people know what's going on. I've just become aware, you know, like thanks to Dele and a couple of other people, that the United Nations Commission on Human Rights has sent a letter to Secretary of State Clinton concerned about the oppression that the United States government has been putting on the Occupy movement. And Los Angeles is mentioned specifically in that letter. It's a pretty awesome letter. I've read the content. My thought is that we can utilize a message from the United Nations to our government about repression to organize like a kind of, you know, like mainstream political, you know, like statement about what's going on here and get some media attention. Our lovely, let me just use the word lovely, our lovely mayor is going to be the chair of the Democratic National Convention. This is a great opportunity to kind of utilize this United Nations statement and pressure our mayor to bring it to the, you know, like DNC and embarrass the shit out of him for what's been going on here in LA. So I have some ideas on how to work around that. If anybody is interested in kind of getting together and, you know, like figuring out, like what I really want to do is, you know, like, I mean, historically, radicals have always had a mainstream political backup to support their cases in court, to call public attention to repression, and I think that we need to here in Occupy organize that kind of, you know, like kind of a thing to support our people. So I think this is a good way to kind of do it. So please come and see me if you want to work on that. That's it.
I just wanted to mention that there's by the ACLU
Cool. Yeah, because we, you know, I mean, there's ways to play this, and given that the United Nations, you know, like is involved, there's a way to get mainstream media attention on this, and I think you know, like, fuck the mainstream media, I hate them, you know, but like we need to utilize them to get our message out, and this is the way to do it. So let's kind of work on that. I want to form a like working group around that. So I'm sorry to not have waited until Monday to do that, but I'm out of town this weekend. I won't be there on Monday, so I apologize for hijacking you all with an idea.
Is that? I don't know. Is the last person on SAG?
I just want to say something.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, we have to remember that the United Nations is nothing but an instrument of the imperialism. So we have to, know how to use it for our
Absolutely, and we can utilize them because they, you know, like are a legitimate organization that we can play. And we're signatures to the, you know, like we're signatures. The fucking United States is a signature to the human rights stuff, and we violate human rights in this country all the time and then point our fingers at every other country in the world. So it's about time that that finger got pointed like right back here to Los Angeles, right?
Okay, is that?
It's this finger,
So I think that, we're done, but hey, does anyone have a chant? What do we want to do?
I have the CCA chant.
There you go.
The president of CCA, I think that's her title, is named Carol Shat. I don't know about you, but Shat sounds like something to me. So I was thinking we could do a chant that Carol Shat on us.
Carol shout, shout on us.
Carol shout, shout on us. Carol shout, shout on us. Carol shout, shout on us.
Carol shout, shout on us. Carol shout, shout on us. Yeah.
Stop the chat, the CCA.
Stop the chat. Okay, we're down. Anyone else want to chant? Like, Solidarity clap! Yeah!
All right, beautiful night, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Remember, I'll see y'all tomorrow. 9 a.m. right here.
Has anyone heard anything about food tonight?
Food tonight.